Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have discussed about the first law of Mendel, that is Mendel's law of dominance. So once again, see there are three laws of inheritance given by Mendel, that is on the pea plant. Okay, the first one is law of dominance. Law of dominance. Okay. Second one is known as law of segregation. Law of segregation. Segregation is separation, which is also known as law of purity of gametes. And third one, law of independent. Law of independent assortment. Okay. Law of independent assortment. So yesterday I explained about the first one, law of dominance. So once again listen. When a pair of alleles occurs in the hybrid, when a pair of characters occurs in a hybrid, then the character which is dominant appeared in the first generation and the character which is not dominant become suppressed or hidden. This is known as law of dominance. Now next see second law, that is law of segregation. Law of segregation, which is also known as law of purity of gametes. Let's see second one, law of segregation. Law of segregation. Okay. Law of segregation. First of all, see this law states that when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, this law states that when a pair of alleles, that is one pair, a pair of alleles, when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, or you can say F1 generation progeny, when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, they do not mix. They do not mix. They do not mix, or you can say blend. They do not mix or blend. But during gamete formation, they separate in such a way. They separate in such a way. Each gamete receives a single factor. Each gamete receives a single factor. Okay. Once again, this law states that when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, they do not blend or mix. But during gamete formation, they separate in such a way that each gamete receives a single factor. Okay, it can explain by using the monohybrid clause, that is height of the plant, and you will find that in the first generation the phenotypic ratio is 3. In the first generation the F1 progeny all will be tall, but in the second generation the phenotypic ratio will be 3:1 and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So let's see how you will explain this law by using monohybrid clause. So once again, what is law of segregation? This law states that when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, they do not blend or mix. They don't add. It is not possible in the first generation all plants grow, then they will continue grow. But when in the F1 progeny gametes will produce, so they will separate in such a way each gamete receives a single factor. And in the next generation you can see the tall plant also, okay, hybrid plant also. So let's see how we will explain this law by using monohybrid cross. So you will take example of height of the plant and you will start from parental generation. Parental generation. Here you will write parental generation. Parental generation. Okay. You know there are two plants P1 and P2. Parental generation P1 and P2. Next one you can write the phenotype. Phenotype. So phenotype is height of the plant tall and dwarf. There are two plants taken by Mendel, tall and dwarf plant. Now genotype. Genotype for tall you know there will be capital T and capital T, and for dwarf it will be small t and small t. Okay, let's see F1 gametes. You can see the first generation gametes. The first generation gametes, it is same type, so it will produce gamete capital T type. Okay, and it will produce gamete small t type. Okay, now next will be F1 progeny. F1 progeny. F1 progeny, you will combine these together. So F1 progeny will be capital T and small t. Capital T and small t. So this capital T and small t will not blend always for a long time. These capital T small t will separate during gamete formation in such a way each gamete receives a single factor. Once again, these two alleles that occurs in a hybrid, they do not always mix or blend, but they will separate during gamete formation in such a way that each gamete receives a single factor. That means when gamete will produce a single factor, that means gene will transfer in the each gametes. So after selfing, suppose that this is the one plant, this is the F1 progeny. It is selfing, or you can say self pollination. Again, one is male, other is female. Okay, so you can make unit square. Okay, so unit square, then F2, F1. F2 gametes. First one F2 gametes. So it will produce two types of gametes during gamete formation. Capital T, small t. Again it will produce two types of gametes. Capital T and small t. So once again you will take two parents P1 and P2 having phenotype tall and dwarf. Genotype for tall, you know, capital T, and for dwarf it is small t. Then F1 gamete, that means first generation gametes. So gametes by this plant will be capital T type only, and gametes by this plant will be small t type. When these two gametes fused during fertilization, they will give F1 progeny, that is capital T small t, and all plants are tall. All plants are tall according to the law of dominance. All plants are tall. This is also tall. Heterozygous tall plants in first generation. And the gametes are capital T, small t. Capital T, small t. Now you will make unit square for this. Direct you can see. Direct you can see this combined it to capital T will combine with this. It will be capital T, capital T. Okay? And this capital T also combined with this small t. So it will be capital T, small t. Okay? This small t will combine with this capital T. There will be capital T, small t. And fourth combination will be small t and small t. So there are total four combinations. Once again, capital T combined with capital T. will give capital T, capital T. Second, this capital T combined with small t will give capital T, small t. Third, this is small t combined with capital T will give capital T, small t. And last one, this small t combined with small t will give small t, small t. So capital T, all plants will be tall. Capital T will be tall. Okay? And this capital T, small t also will be tall according to law of dominance because capital T is present. This capital T, small t also will be tall, but small t will be dwarf because due to absence of the capital T gene. Okay, so you can find that in the F2 generation, the phenotypic ratio is 3:1 because 3 plants are tall and 1 is dwarf. So you can move down again. F2 phenotypic ratio. F2 phenotypic ratio. Continue, you will write F2 phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio. So F2 phenotypic ratio will be 3 plants are tall, 1 is dwarf. The ratio will be 3:1. And F2 genotypic ratio, that is second generation. F2 genotypic ratio, it will be 1:2 because 2 are heterozygous and 1:2:1. So this is all about law of segregation. Once again, what is law of segregation? This law states that when a pair of pairs occurs in hybrid, they do not mix or blend, but during gamete formation, they separate in such a way that each gamete receives a single factor. On that time, on Mendel time, the word gene not discovered. So on that time, the word factor used for gene. Okay, and the word factor given by Mendel for gene. And you know well, the word gene discovered given by Johnson. So how you can differentiate between law of dominance and law of segregation? The law of dominance states that when a pair of consortium characters occurs in hybrid, the trait which is dominant appeared in the first generation, the trait which is not dominant becomes suppressed or hidden. This is called law of dominance. And what is law of segregation? This law states that when a pair of alleles occurs in a hybrid, they do not mix, they do not blend, but during gamete formation, they separate in such a way that each gamete receives a single factor. So this is all about the second law, law of segregation. And listen carefully, both law of segregation and law of dominance based on inheritance of one gene, because only one character you have taken during the experiment. Okay, law of segregation and law of dominance based on inheritance of one gene, and law of independent assortment is based on inheritance of two genes, because two pairs of characters taken during the experiment, that is seed shape and seed color. So let's see some exceptions of law of dominance. So there are two exceptions. First one is known as incomplete dominance and second one is known as codominance. In all cases, law of dominance is not followed. In some cases, law of dominance is not followed. This is known as exceptions of law of dominance. Exceptions of law of dominance. Law of dominance. So there are two exceptions. In that cases, the F1 hybrid is not, in the F1 hybrid not only dominant trait appeared. In the first case, the F1 is intermediate, the F1 hybrids appeared at intermediate condition. In the second case, the F1 hybrid is having characters of both parents. So there are two exceptions of law of dominance. First one is called incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance. And second one is known as codominance. Codominance. Incomplete dominance, it is found in two plants And the first plant is Mirabilis jalapa. Mirabilis jalapa. Okay. And second one, snapdragon plant. Snapdragon plant. And that is scientific name is, that's the common name of this plant is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock plant. Okay. And second one is Antirrhinum majus. Antirrhinum majus plant. That is also known as snapdragon. Snapdragon. So let's see first examples. Incomplete dominance found in two plants. The first one is known as Mirabilis jalapa, that is commonly known as 4 o'clock plant, and second one is known as Antirrhinum majus. It is also kind of plant that commonly is snapdragon. Okay, and third is found in animal, that is known as Andalusian fowl. Andalusian fowl. So these two plants and one animal where the phenomena of incomplete dominance observed. Okay, so let's see what is incomplete dominance. First, it is an exception. The phenomena in which the F1 hybrid shows the phenotypic traits in the intermediate conditions known as incomplete dominance. Okay, once again, the phenomena in which the F1 hybrids express character in the intermediate state, that is not the dominant trait and recessive trait. It is the intermediate of between the dominant and recessive trait, that is known as incomplete dominance. That means the dominant character not completely suppressed by the recessive character. Both character will express in the intermediate condition, that is known as incomplete dominance. So what is incomplete dominance? The phenomena in which the F1 hybrids express characters as intermediate state known as incomplete dominance. So the best example it is found in the Mirabilis jalapa, that is scientific commonly known as 4 o'clock plant. Let's see incomplete dominance. Mirabilis jalapa. Mirabilis jalapa. Incomplete dominance. There are two varieties of incomplete Mirabilis jalapa found, that is red and white. Okay, so let's see again parental generation. As you can say phenotype. There are two varieties of Mirabilis jalapa. First one is known as red, and other one is white. Okay, genotype. For genotype, it will be capital R, and for this white it is small r. Let's see F1 gametes. Okay, the F1 gametes will be from this plant will be capital R, and from this plant will be small r. Let's see next one, F1 progeny. According to law of dominance, okay, the F1 progeny should red color, but it will pink. That means intermediate between red and white. The F1 progeny, all plants are pink. It will be capital R and small r. According to law of dominance, the F1 progeny should be red, but it is pink. That is exception in case of law of dominance, and it is an intermediate state between red and white. Okay, the F1 progeny shows pink color. Okay, let's see after selfing. Capital R, small r, again pink. When these plants self-pollinated, so they will produce again, they have two gametes, and these F2 gametes will be what? Capital R, small r. Okay, again capital R, small r. These are the F2 gametes produced by the second generation parents. Okay, let's see the Punnett square. Punnett square, with the Punnett square I will explain that there are two generation combinations. There are two generation progeny. We have two gametes, we have two progenies. So with that of Punnett square, it is given in your book. Okay, so with that of Punnett square, there are two parents. The gamete of one parent outside, gamete of second parent downside. I will write capital R, small r. Here again, capital R, small r. Okay? So let's see. This capital R combined with this capital R will be capital R, capital R. Plant will be red. Flower will be red. Okay? And this capital R combined with small r, pink. Again, this capital R combined with small r, capital R, small r. And last one, small r and small r. So, F2 generation, phenotypic and genotypic ratio is same, 1:2:1. You can see, one plant is red, other is pink, third one also pink, and fourth one is white. Okay? Total 4 plants are produced. Out of 4, first one is red, second one pink, third one pink, fourth one white. So you can see F2 phenotypic ratio. You can write downside F2 phenotypic ratio will be F2 phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio will be 1 red, 1:2. 1 is red, 2 pink, and F2 phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1. That means 1 is red, 2 is pink, and 1 is white. You can see 1 is red, 2 is pink, 1 is white, and genotypic ratio also same. We have 2 genotypic ratio. It will be same, that is 1:2:1. So this is log dominance, log incomplete dominance in case of Mirabilis gelaba. Okay. So what is the basic difference? F2 phenotypic ratio and F1 progeny. In case of log dominance, in F1 progeny only dominant traits appear, but in case of incomplete dominance, the F1 progeny having character intermediate state between the two parents. And second thing, in case of log dominance, the F2 phenotypic ratio is 3:1 and genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. But in case of incomplete dominance, the both phenotypic and genotypic ratio in case of F2 generation is same, 1:2:1. So this is all about the incomplete dominance. Tomorrow I will explain the second exception of log dominance, that is codominance. Thank you.